Hello. Welcome back. It's been a couple weeks since episode 1 of the Lena and Marcus story. If you haven't checked it out, click the card above or click the link in the description or the card at the end of this video. Anyway, at the time of release, I'm in the hospital getting surgery on my spine, so besides the episodes and stories I have scheduled for the next couple of weeks, July 2024 will be a light month in terms of uploads. So let's change the mode and tell you more about Chapter 2.
Tension mounts as Marcus finds himself face-to-face with an unexpected and formidable presence in Lena's apartment, testing his courage and the strength of his burgeoning connection with Lena. As secrets are unveiled and boundaries are tested, the night takes a turn that neither of them could have anticipated, leaving Marcus questioning what he truly knows about Lena and the world she inhabits.
And now, without ado,
Chapter 2. Unleashing Strength. Marcus stood frozen, his back pressed against the wall, eyes locked on the massive tiger in front of him. The tiger's growl echoed through the apartment, a menacing sound that made the hairs on the back of his neck stand up. His heart pounded in his chest as he struggled to comprehend the surreal situation. Suddenly, the door to the apartment swung open, and Lena walked in, completely unfazed by the scene in front of her. She carried herself with a calm confidence, her eyes briefly meeting Marcus's terrified gaze before turning to the tiger.
Athena, calm down.
Lena commanded in a firm but gentle voice. The tiger, Athena, let out one last growl before lowering her head, her muscles relaxing slightly. She still kept a watchful eye on Marcus, but the immediate threat seemed to have dissipated. Lena walked over to the tiger and stroked her head affectionately.
Good girl.
She murmured.
Go back to your cage.
Athena hesitated for a moment, then turned and padded across the room to a large cage in the corner. She entered it gracefully, and Lena closed the door behind her, securing the latch. With the tiger safely contained, Lena turned her attention back to Marcus. He stood there, still paralyzed with fear, unable to tear his eyes away from the massive predator.
It's okay, Marcus.
Lena said soothingly.
Athena is my pet. You don't need to be scared.
Marcus swallowed hard, trying to find his voice.
Your pet?
He managed to croak. Lena nodded, smiling as if this were the most normal thing in the world.
Yes, she's been with me for years. She's really a sweetheart, I promise.
Marcus's mind reeled. He had seen people with unusual pets before, but a tiger? This was something entirely different.
I don't know what to say.
He stammered. Lena chuckled softly.
I know it's a lot to take in. But Athena is well trained. She's just protective of me, that's all.
As if to illustrate her point, Lena walked over to a refrigerator and opened it, revealing a variety of raw meats. She began to pull out several packages, laying them on the counter.
What would you like for dinner, Athena?
Lena called over to the cage.
Monkey meat, pork, beef, deer, crocodile meat.
Athena let out a low rumble, her eyes fixed on Lena. It was clear that the tiger understood her owner's words. Lena decided on a mix of the meats, skillfully preparing a meal for her unusual pet. As she worked, she glanced over at Marcus, who still hadn't moved from his spot by the wall.
Marcus, really, you don't have to be scared.
Lena said gently.
Athena is my best friend. She's only protective because she cares about me.
Marcus finally managed to tear his eyes away from the tiger and looked at Lena.
Your best friend?
He echoed, his voice trembling slightly. Lena nodded as she continued to prepare the meal.
Yes. She's been with me through a lot. And as long as you do right by me, she'll do right by you.
There was a brief pause before Lena added.
I had a boyfriend once who didn't treat me well. Athena made sure to remedy that situation.
Marcus's eyes widened.
Did she do something to him?
He asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Lena paused in her work, turning to face Marcus. She held his gaze for a long moment, her expression unreadable.
Let's just say, he learned his lesson.
The implication hung heavily in the air, and Marcus felt a chill run down his spine. He glanced back at Athena, who was watching them both intently from her cage.
I think I should go,
Marcus said abruptly, his voice shaky. He took a step toward the door, then another, his movements stiff and mechanical. Lena watched him with a mixture of amusement and disappointment.
I enjoyed the evening, Marcus,
She said softly.
I hope we can see each other again.
Marcus didn't reply. He quickly exited the apartment, the door closing behind him with a decisive click. Once outside, he leaned against the wall, taking deep breaths to steady himself. His mind was a whirlwind of thoughts and emotions, the night's events leaving him more confused and shaken than ever. As he made his way to his car, Marcus couldn't help but replay the scene in his mind. The tiger, Lena's calm demeanor, her cryptic words about her ex-boyfriend. It was all too much to process. He needed time to think, to understand what he had just experienced. Meanwhile, inside the apartment, Lena finished preparing Athena's meal and brought it over to the cage. She placed the tray inside, and Athena began to eat with a contented rumble.
Good girl, Athena.
Lena murmured, stroking the tiger's head through the bars.
You did well.
She straightened up, her thoughts drifting back to Marcus. He had seemed so perfect, so right for her. But now, she wasn't sure if he would ever come back. Most people couldn't handle the reality of her life, the danger that came with being close to her and Athena. But Lena knew one thing for certain. Athena would always be there for her, a symbol of strength and loyalty. And that was enough for now. As she settled onto the couch, Lena couldn't help but wonder what the future held. Would Marcus return, or had the night's events scared him off for good? Only time would tell.
So chapter 2 leaves us some interesting questions. Lena, Athena. How deep is that bond? What happened to Lena's ex? Marcus. What will he do? 2 of those 3 questions will be answered in chapter/episode 3. I hope to release it sometime in July. Depends on my recovery from surgery and everything that comes from that. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the bell to stay notified with this channel. That is very, very important for the algorithm. Okay, that's it for me for now. I truly hope to see you in the future.